Good night, can I have one done tonight? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Army J.L. Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. At the home of Martha and Mary. You know both of them was real close to Jesus. And they're going to come from Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42. Now, this will continue on the story where the man had sent the man and the angel keeper, to be taken care of after Jesus had told that story to his disciples. Now, Jesus and the disciples were on their way, and he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. So now Martha and Mary had loved Jesus. They would always welcome Jesus, to their home. Now this was a great hospitality when your guest is Jesus. So Martha have a sister that called Mary, who had sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. So Mary had chose the good portion that she was chosen to keep her priority, straight. And that the result in Jesus, the Messiah, receiving her full and undivided attention, and affection. Now she was chosen, to sit at his feet, listen to the words that he had fully unbroken, view of his face. So now, Jesus came to the house. He was welcome to the house. And Mary, Martha hurried up and went in the kitchen and started cooking and preparing the meal for Jesus and the disciples. Okay, so while Martha cooking, Jesus and the guys, they went in the front room, and they started talking about their word, and what Mary was at. Mary was right there by Jesus' foot, right there by the feet, like this here. Listen to everything they saying, sucking all that good word in. But Martha was distracted, by all the preparation, that had to be made. Now she came to him and she asked, Lord, do you care that my sister, left me to do all the work by myself? Now tell her to help. Now she sounded like the children back in the day. Sound like them children. Mama, make her do it. I done did so much and she ain't doing nothing. So she feel like what Mary was doing, she felt like it wasn't worth it. She felt like it wasn't worth it what she was doing. Now she felt like she was doing the hard work up in the kitchen. That what she chose to do, and that's what Mary had chose to do. So both of them is doing important things. One is serving and one is worship. Now Jesus had saying both are servants. Jesus said both are serving. Now you serving in the kitchen and she's serving, she's serving here in that word. So Martha thinks since she working hard, that her sister should work hard too. Now Jesus had saying that she don't have to work hard all the time. But listen, sometimes it's the hard work, sometimes just listening. Like when you're in class, it's hard for some of the children just to sit there and listen, what the teacher is saying. Because sometimes it takes for you to just listen and not overtalk someone. Just listen. Just listen and learn. So now Jesus had realized to Martha. He said, Martha, you are worried and you is upset about many things. Now she getting upset. She wanted Mary to help her in the kitchen. And she figured Martha not doing nothing but sitting at Jesus' feet. So Jesus said, Martha, you worrying about nothing. You worrying about the smallest things, but few things are needed. Or indeed only one. But Mary had chosen what is better, and it would not be taken away from her. Just like Jesus said, you chose to do preparation in the kitchen. She chose to sit by Jesus' feet and learn that word. And she was trying to learn everything she can because she was sitting down listening. And Jesus said it will not be taken away from her. In other words, she's saying what she is listening to and meditating on it and sucking it in, it will not be taken away from. That's just you reading that Bible, and you reading that story. They're gonna be with you. When you talk to somebody, they're gonna be with you. That's what Jesus said, it will not be taken away from her. Because once you learn it and once you meditate on it, that word gonna be with you. It ain't going nowhere, it's gonna be with you. That's why Jesus said it will not be taken away. So Mary and Martha both loved Jesus. They both loved Jesus. In this occasion, they were both serving him. But they had different ways of showing their love. That's just like you got two friends. Both of them got a job, but they're doing different things. But both of the jobs cause them to still be serving. And that's what Jesus trying to get the point to Martha. He said both of y'all were serving me. You were serving me with food, and she was serving me by listening to the word. But they had different ways to showing their love. Martha was busy preparing dinner for their guest Jesus, and Jesus is asking her to sit at her priorities services of Jesus. Now you can't degenerate it into busy work. That will take a devotion from God. So Mary was devoting herself to Jesus' word, and that's very important. That's very important for you to listen and learn that word. What Jesus is saying, Martha, what you doing is important. Now, what he's saying Martha, what you doing is important. Okay, and what Mary is doing is important. Excuse me. And what Mary is doing is important. Now, what Mary is doing is important also. It will not be taken away from her. So she's trying to make Jesus, fuss at her and make her come in the kitchen like their children. So Martha and Mary. Now, it was meant for Mary to be at Jesus' feet. Was a lesson to teach us that what she was doing was very important. She was listening to that word. And Martha had learned that very important thing that Jesus want all of us, to get attached to Jesus' teaching. Martha, that the most important thing in life is to seek his presence. So he was telling Martha, it's very important, that you get to hear that word, to life, to seek the presence of Jesus. And that's what Mary did. Mary was seeking the presence of Jesus. So that's why he said she was there listening, listening, and it will not be taken away from her. So the thing in life is to seek his presence. It's to seek Jesus' presence. See, they had a blessing, that they was there. They was there with Jesus at that time. So now Martha, most important thing in life. He's telling them, see, Mary, she was seeking Jesus. She was seeking Jesus. But Martha was, what she was doing was very important too, to try to feed Jesus. So so when we get that one thing right, and when we get that one thing right, and then everything else will fall in place. That's just like with our life, with our storm. Everything can be in chaos. But sometimes in that chaos of the storm, you can still find peace and happiness in the mix of it. And once you go through that storm, and you find that one little piece that what you didn't understand, you know, everything will fall in place. You know, because that's what they always say. At the end of your storm, you will find out. You know, everything will come clear. You know, I'm still waiting. You know, everything will come clear. Whatever you didn't understand, everything will fall in place. You know, so sometimes you can get so busy with life. You know, Martha did. You know, and not seek God. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't get so busy. You know, but I have to a lot of time. You know, I like to pray at night before I go to bed. I like to pray in the morning before I leave the house. I could get halfway away. I said, oh, Lord, I had forgot. You know, so I normally pray before I get out, before you step your foot out your bed. But sometimes you get busy in life. You can get tired. You know, or you struggling trying to get out the bed. You know, all kind of reasons. You know, but no matter how busy our life is, you know, we still have to pray. We still have to connect with God in the morning, you know, and we have to still connect with Him, you know, all through the day. You know, you remember Daniel. Daniel had prayed like 3 times a day. You know, you can pray how many times you wanted to. You know, because a lot of time if I had to pray, you know, wherever I get to, whatever situation I'm dealing with, you can pray. You know, you don't have no special time, or you know how many days or how many hours. You can pray 3, 4, 5 times a day if you want, if you need to. You know, so that was the story of Martha and Mary. You know, you got 2 people living in a house, and you got a guest coming. You know, you got a guest coming. You know, and you're gonna do the best you can to serve that guest, and especially when it's Jesus. You're gonna do the best you can to try to serve the guest. You know, you know, you're gonna try to clean up. You're gonna try to fix you some sandwiches and some stuffed eggs. You know, you're gonna try to try to do the same thing they did. You're gonna have one in the kitchen, one, you know, and if you don't have nobody like Jesus coming to your house, you know, one can be cooking and one can be cleaning up. But you had the man of Jesus in your home. You know, so what both of them was doing was very important. You know, it was very important. You know, she think what Mary was doing wasn't important because she was sitting at Jesus' feet, but she was learning that word. That was good news. That was good news she was learning. You know, Jesus said it will not be taken away from her. She wanted Jesus to fuss at her and everything else. They was acting like children, you know. But Jesus said it will not be taken away from her. You know, she meditating on that word. She was sucking everything in, you know. And so that's all the story for Mary and Martha had welcomed Jesus into their home. You know, Jesus had just saved that girl. Jesus had just saved that girl. So he was on his way somewhere else, and he stopped there because they always say, you welcome him. You welcome him. You see, they had a lot of people love Jesus. And a lot of people hating him also. So the ones that love him, you know, he going all through. You know, his ministry is all over. All over the world. And the people that love him, when he passing through, oh, I'm just in the neighborhood. You know, you got some water. Well, the Samaritan woman, she took give him hassle just by wanting to give him some water. You know, so Mary and Martha welcomed Jesus in their home. You know, and Martha went straight in the kitchen and started preparing food for Jesus. You know, and Mary followed Jesus, you know, and sit at his foot and listen to everything that he was saying. You know, so that's all I have for you today. Y'all have a blessed and safe night, and I see y'all in the next video.